Hello, I would like to begin my control test. And as the first point, I should consider my personality. I should consider some points of my Personality. I would rather find myself um, communicative, friendly, absolutely social. Yes, the society is important to me. I'm polite. I am tolerant enough. I'm Christian, so I am tolerant, but I don't receive some principles of the tolerance in the world as on my own. I don't know, on my own side for myself. So, as the second point, I should consider my educational background. Uh, so, um I finished the school, the high school, and my favorite subjects were the Russian language, the literature, the I don't know, the Russian literature, yes, the English language, and maybe sport. I do love sport. Um, as for um, as for why I decided to continue the education after the finish in high school, is because in Russia it's not received, it's not got a gap year like maybe in some Western, in some Eastern countries, like maybe in America, maybe in France, etc., etc. And as for my educational background, Elsa, I uh, I was I was studying. I studied in Europe, in France. It was due to our program of exchange of educational exchange. Yes, educational mobility of students. So it took place on the in August to December of 2019. So I'm really happy that I managed, yes, to achieve this, because now, as we all know, because of the COVID-19, it's not. I suppose it's impossible to get in to involve this program. So I'm really happy that God helped me to participate in this in such a great program, because I got a really nice experience, because I lived in a family. I lived in a French family, so, and to be involved in this life, is a much more important experience than even the experience about a university, you know. So, to consider, I've chosen Norway. Why Norway? Because I know that Norway is one of the most democratic countries. It's a country with really beautiful landscapes, with a big social security system, high social security system, and I know this beautiful country from one really famous, well-known series, like not like but Scam. Yes, and where there I learned something about their personalities, about their problems, about the teens, teens. I'm sorry. About the teens' problems. That is very important to me and to everyone. Yeah. Which languages are spoken? In this country, there are 5 languages spoken. It's the Norwegian, the Sami, um, Romance, Romani, yes, and so 4. And I suppose there is also English, because it's a European country. About the hosted classification, about hosted dimensions of this country. I should start with power distance index. In my opinion, it's one of the most important dimensions in this in this country, because in Russia, as we all know, the PDI is extremely high, and we all feel it. If you are an employee, you should respect and you should be like this to your employer. But in Norway, scores low in this dimension, only 31, which means that the following characterizes the Norwegian style: the being independent, hierarchy for convenience only, equal rights, superiors accessible, coach and leader, management facilitates and empowers. Power is decentralized and managers count on the experience of their team members. Employees expect to be consulted. And so on. Control is disliked, and attitude towards managers are informal and on the first name basis. Communication is direct, and nepotism, not nepotism, but no, it's about the individualism. Control is disliked, communication is direct and participative, and consensus oriented. Okay. About individualism, Norway is scores Norway scores 69 and is considered an individualist society. This means that the self is really important to this society. Personal opinions are valued and expressed. Communication is explicit, and at the same time, the right to privacy is important and respected. There are clear lines between work and personal life, and I suppose it's about the time also. And as I know, the Europeans consider the private life, and they really appreciate this time time which should be the time of family, which should be to friends, etc. So they divide this. Yes, not as Russians, in my opinion. The employer relationship is based on a contract, and leaders focus on management of individuals. Feedback is direct, and nepotism is disliked and in, is not encouraged, as we can understand. So, about the masculinity, the Norwegians are really feminine in this dimension. So it means that the incentives such as flexibility and free time are favored in this society. Interaction through dialogue and growing insight is valued, and self-development along this term encouraged. Focus is on well-being and status is not shown, maybe as in America, also is in Russia. An effective manager is a supportive one, and decision making is achieved through involvement. Sorry. About uncertainty avoidance, I can say that Norway scores 50 and thus does not show the preference to this on this dimension. So about a long-term orientation. Norway has a relatively low score of 35, and so Norwegian culture is more normative than pragmatic. People in such societies have a strong concern with establishing the absolute truth. They are normative in their thinking. They exhibit great respect for traditions, a relatively small propensity to save for the future, and a focus on achieving quick results. About indulgence, the Norwegians have an intermediate, therefore inconclusive score of 55 in this dimension. I have already mentioned the most remarkable dimensions to me, in my opinion. So it's the PDI. It's the low score of masculinity, in my opinion. As for some tips to tourists, yes, due to these dimensions, I would consider some of them, like maybe you should be tolerant there, because in Russia there is no private area, there is no private space, in my opinion. In Russia, you may say something you consider important, but it wouldn't be important to this person whom you are directing, whom you are speaking. So you shouldn't say anything about this person without asking your opinion. Yes. About tourist attractions in Norway. It's easy to picture Pelagian weekends and scenic fairs when thinking about Norway. Summer midnight sun, picturesque waterfronts, well preserved wooden churches, yes, which are called state churches, yes, and really great hiking trails. Yes, and as for me, I really love these fjords, these waterfalls, and also the small towns. For example, Gwen, Gwen. I suppose it's called Gwen. Maybe it's one of these small towns. So I received I took the test, and I am considered as my personality is considered as reactive, and only 24% of all the people are 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 one of these. Yes. So, and they say that I prioritize courtesy and respect, listening quickly and calmly. No, listening quietly and calmly to interlocutors, and reacting carefully to the other side's proposals. Um, I agree with it, with this statement about me. Yes. And as for my attitude to Norway, I do like their attitude to a personality, and I should say also that they were the first, really first government who accepted the LGBT rights. It's not favor to me, absolutely, but as a tolerant person, I can I can agree with their democracy, with their love to people, and love to, yes. So it's all about Norway. What I that I can say to you. Thank you for the attention. Have a good day.